Right guys, welcome. It's Friday, the weekend has finally gotten here. Welcome to the Anfield Agenda, late night agenda. You guys know who I am at this point, but just in case you're new or it's your first time watching, my name is Craig. I'm the host here on Anfield Agenda and you are very welcome to tonight's stream. As you can see from the title of the show guys, tonight is going to be a celebration of Sir Kenny Dalglish, or Sir King Kenny Dalglish as he should be called. What can you say about this man that hasn't already been said? He is a legend in Scotland, a legend in the city of Liverpool, a legend in world football. But more than all of that, more than his football achievements, more than anything he's done as a manager, as a player, he's a fucking superstar of a fella. A really good skin, as we say over here in Ireland. I cannot wait tonight to hear people's thoughts on Kenny. I cannot wait to hear some memories, some people's favourite memories over the years. It's just a beautiful day for the Dalglish family, a day that is most certainly deserved. The quote of the day though has to go to Kelly Cates' daughter, who put up the image that you can see there in her thumbnail for tonight's show of Kenny on his knee getting knighted by Prince Charles, and she said, "No luck knighthood." And it is, you know what, just sums up the family, that a very, very serious occasion, a very celebratory occasion for the family, but still time for a little bit of humour, which is, it just shows you the mentality of the family. And look, I don't know Kenny Dalglish, obviously. I wish I did. I don't know Kelly Cates, I don't know Paul Dalglish, I don't know Marina, I don't know any of the family. But like many other Reds from around the world, I worship at the altar of King Kenny. And today was a day that was long overdue for Liverpool fans, for Kenny Dalglish and his family. And he could have refused it. We could talk about that in a different sense, but he took it with the grace it was deserved. And fair play, congratulations to Sir Kenny Dalglish, which is, it's a beautiful thing to say. Sir Alex Ferguson received his knighthood and that was well deserved. Congratulations to him at the time. But this is as deserving, if not more deserving. Actually, I would say more deserving because of charity work, but I don't want to compare the two. That's really unfair. They're both deserving of it in their own unique way. Kenny Dalglish, Sir Kenny Dalglish. Does it get much better than saying that, guys? What a man. What a man. Terry Josh is in. How are you, sir? Great to have you with us. The Rev and I, Connor, Mossy Wassy, Tom, Steve Richards. How are we? And how are we? King Kenny, what do we think? Does not get much better than that. He so deserves it. What a man. What he's done for the city of Liverpool just can never be repaid. There are people who know a lot more about Kenny Dalglish than me. There are people who are older than me who were lucky enough to see Kenny Dalglish play live. He was a little bit before my generation, so I just got his managerial exploits. I didn't really ever get to see King Kenny play. It was mostly in videos and stories that were handed down. But today is his day. Today is a day that Liverpool fans around the world, and I'm sure his family, have waited for a very long time. Arise, Sir Kenny, said Stephen Richards. Absolutely. What a man. What a man. There is no more deserving person that I can think of in sport than this of Kenny Dalglish. And look, there are people up and down the country, or people around the world, that do magnificent deeds, tremendous charity work, and Kenny and Marina are amongst those people. It just goes to tell you how beautiful the man is. He always has a smile on his face. He always has time for people. And it doesn't matter what level of society Kenny Dalglish is around. I think he brings everybody to his level. What I mean by that is he just brings everybody to that easygoing, relaxed, funny sense of humour that he has. He just calms everybody down, just brings them to that level. And it's just a great thing for the city today. It's a great thing for him and his family. I've been a bit moved by today, I have to say. It's very strange. I'm not usually a sentimental person or somebody who's emotional about things, but seeing those images today, yeah, he's very, very deserving of it. I'm so proud of him, so happy for him. Not that I have any reason to be proud of him, I'm just proud of him from a Liverpool aspect. It was beautiful seeing the Kenny Dalglish stand named after him. This is obviously something we knew was coming, but it's a special day. It is a special day for this football club, for Kenny Dalglish, for his family. Look, I've talked about it enough. I want to get your opinions on it, guys. Your thoughts, your favourite Kenny Dalglish moments over the years. And heaven knows, there's fucking millions of them that we could choose from. What have we got there? Well done, Kenny Dalglish. Was lucky enough to see him play, said Paul Turner. Congratulations, King Kenny, said Ben. Craig, did you see the Kenny DVD? It shows you what a nice fella he is. I have it downloaded, mate. I bought it. I have it downloaded. But I haven't yet watched it. So no is the answer. I haven't watched it yet. I've so many sports documentaries and that I have to get through, Stephen. So many of them. And books as well. I've got like Stephen Gerrard's latest book, the one that came out a few years back. I haven't read that yet. That's sitting there. I have John Kavanagh, Coach John Kavanagh's book there. I've so much reading to catch up on and so much watching, but these days I don't have much time. But that I've no excuse. I have to get my finger out and watch the Kenny Dalglish one. King Kenny, what a beautiful man. Jose Mourinho will demand to be knighted next. Services to make a Manchester United shite. I mean, he's certainly done that. He's most certainly done that. He's definitely done that. Our little friend Garky Poo came out to play earlier on as well, I noticed on Twitter, trying to hog the day, take the day from Liverpool fans and say that rivalries to one side and all. I used to feel that like hatred was important between fans, and now I just want to say congratulations to Kenny Dalglish, credit where it's due. And I just looked at him and went, fuck you, Gark. Today is not your day, my friend. What about Sir Raggy, said Stephen Richards. Well, of course, that has to be next. Claire Dean said, I watched him play and manage our fantastic team. Love the man. If anything is deserved, this is. You'll never walk alone. Respect to the man. It is, Claire. It's so deserving. There are very few people that I know in life that you could look at and go, yes, without a shadow of a doubt, without a second conversation, that man, what he's done for the city, what he's done around the Hillsborough campaign, what he's done for charities with his wife, Marina, it's just unbelievable. The man went through so much. He suffered like everybody else in and around Hillsborough, but he had the strength of will, the strength of character to guide a city, a football club, and I think a city, through one of the most turbulent times in its history. And it takes some hell of a man to do that. I know I couldn't have done it. I'm sure most of you would have been the same, but he carried a burden on his shoulders, the likes of which none of us will probably ever know, and took it with grace and dignity and humility. And that's why he is the man that he is. There's something about Scots, isn't there? There's something about people from Scotland, the men of that era. They're tough old skins, and himself, Jock Stein, Alex Ferguson, they're a tough old breed, aren't they? Shanks, of course. It's fair play to them. Whatever they were breeding them up there in Scotland, whatever they were feeding them, they were turning out good men. Made up for Sir King Kenny, said Louise. Johnny Cunty Luck said, Salah's goal for Egypt, wow, he looks so confident now. I seen that earlier on as well. The day just kept getting better, mate. Salah scoring the winner for Egypt, brilliant. There was a nice article out around Jurgen Klopp and Sadio Mane. Klopp saying that Sadio Mane now knows that he's world class and that his confidence is going through the roof. So there's lots of positives coming out today, which is great to see. Of course, we had young Trent scoring a goal for England yesterday as well. We spoke a little bit about that last night, but fucking brilliant. It's great to see the good news. I'm a fan of good news. Often we come on here and we have to talk about some negative things because sometimes you just can't avoid them, but today is a positive day. It's a beautiful day to be a Red. Enjoy it. Bask in it. It's I'm fucking enjoying it anyway. Salah is back, said Mossy Wossy. Alisson Becker saves today, multiple saves and Suarez shots. Kenny Dalglish was the best player to play in England. He's a legend in football. He was the Messi of his day. It's a big shout to say he was the best player to play in England. With all due respect, and as much as I love the man as well, let's not forget that George Best played in England, and George Best was one hell of a footballer as well. So it's a tough call. There's been some absolute superstars that have played in England over the years, but he's definitely up there in the conversation. Craig, he was the ultimate braveheart, said Stephen Richards. I'm proud to be an Egyptian. As you should be, mate. As you should be. And congratulations today, another Mohamed Salah goal win for Egypt. So well done to you. Always great to see people happy in the chat as well. Genie Wijnaldum scored as well, for fuck's sake. That's unbelievable. What score was that France game? I know France were playing Holland. I didn't see the score of the game. Hi Reds from Glasgow, said DZB. Great to have you with us, mate. Thank you for joining. I hope you're keeping well. I think it's been a few nights since we last spoke, buddy. I hope you're keeping well. Stephen Richards said, Craig, as for Mo, score like an Egyptian. Kenny's goal in the 1978 European Cup final was my favourite, said Paul Turner. You're showing your age, Paul, mate. You're showing your age, and that's a good thing. I often think at times when I'm on here doing these streams that I assume everybody on YouTube is younger than me. I don't know why. Call me an idiot, but I assume everybody is younger than me. So it's great every now and again to get a little reminder, Paul, that there's some oldies like me out there as well. 2-0 to Holland, fuck me. Did not see that one coming. Jesus, 2-0 to Holland. Did anybody see the video doing the rounds of Virgil van Dijk jumping up to head that ball that was hanging from a string in the air? Fucking hell. How did he get up to that? Jesus, he just galloped up to it like a stallion and just rose up into the air to head it. It just looked ridiculous. Claire said, okay, so Mo, Genie, Trent on the score sheet. Just saying, I'll have Brazil and Senegal played, yeah. It's a good day, Claire. Hopefully no injuries as well. That's the most important thing for the players to get out of this. Yes, confidence boosting performances are brilliant. We welcome them. But you want players to come out of it without any injuries. It was a fantastic goal by Salah. Did you see it, Craig? No. I did see it, but I didn't pay attention because it was in the corner of my eye. No, I didn't see the goal. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to seeing the smile on Mo's face as well, because that's what brings me joy when he scores. Is that beautiful beaming smile on his face. It's just pure unadulterated joy. Same with Sadio Mane when he scores. I just love that look on their faces. Mossy said I'm 30, so you're up with us there, Mossy. You're only 7 years younger than me, mate. Claire says, mate, I'm older than you. Look, she does give away her age though. Typical lady. She said, I'm older than you, but look, leave it there, dickhead. We'll say no more about it. Claire, you're always a joy to have on the stream, mate. It's always a pleasure. You bring nothing but goodwill, good laugh, banter and knowledge to the stream. So age is irrelevant. It's always great to have you here. As it is with Mossy Wassy, as it is with everybody else. The Revenite, Stephen, Louise, everybody. I'm always blown away that you guys are on here to have a chat at night time. It means the world to me. Blakely said, and then when Yaldum couldn't get that ball from strings with his hand, I seen that as well. He says as he spits basically all over his computer. I seen that when he could barely reach it. Well, how small did he look compared to Verge though? Absolute monster of a fella. Ben said, I think I'm the youngest on the stream. Again, Ben, I'm not going to ask your age, mate. If you want to divulge, that's up to you. If you don't, mate, you're perfectly entitled to keep it to yourself. I'm one of the older Reds supporters, Craig, said Paul Turner. Mate, again, it's so good. We've got a good mixing pot of Reds on here, isn't it? We've got Reds from around the world. We've got Reds of different age group, Reds of different social classes, Reds of different religions. None of it matters, because when we come on here, all we are is Liverpool fans, and that's the beauty of it. All we are is Liverpool fans who come on here to chat about the Reds. Thank you, Craig. You're a very good person. I try, mate. I actually received a lovely message from somebody last night. And it really, I'm not going to embarrass the guy by talking about it, but I showed it to Connor, and it meant a lot. It was very, very kind of him, so it was really appreciated. Connor said, how old is everybody? Look at him, he's getting nosy now. He's 20, by the way. Kenny Dalglish is better than best. I might have LFC tinted glasses on, but I think that everybody else is better than him. He could do everything and took on Keegan's role like an absolute champ. Look, he is a superstar, mate. You're absolutely right. And regardless of George Best or anybody else, today is Kenny's day. And I remember growing up, there's a specific jacket that I remember about Kenny Dalglish. That it's a grey manager's jacket, a grey and red one. It's one of the, I think it might have been around 89, 90, something like that. And it's a jacket that every time I think of Kenny Dalglish, I see it in my head. The Revenite said he's 25, Ben is 13 and a Scouser, Blakely's 23, Ant is 31, DCB is 52, Mark Thompson is 55. I'm feeling young. I am feeling young now. Tom is 47, Claire's 45, Craig's 37. So I'm kind of in the middle here. I'm feeling young again. I'm feeling good. Claire said, sometimes the footy connection, especially for someone like me who lives overseas, is what it's about. We're the essence of a community, long may it continue. I was writing something out earlier on, Claire. We were starting to, well, we were actually flipping between, we were trying to start a GoFundMe page, then we were thinking we'd go on Ko-fi, then we were looking at Kickstarter. Anyway, we were flitting around through the few pages to see which one we're going to use to start the campaign to try and fund the camera and stuff. And I was typing out the information and stuff for it. And when I got to writing the word community and stuff, it just felt natural because it was true. I was trying to describe the channel and what we do, and yeah, it's nice when I describe it to people. The word community is something that keeps coming up and up and up when I'm talking, and it is true. Like when I come on here at the start of every stream, I say, this is your show, this is your channel, let me know what you want to talk about. It really is. The only thing, I just see myself as the person to come on here every night and set it up and turn on the computer and get this going. Other than that, I kick back, relax and try and get your views across to as many people as I can because I enjoy hearing them. Craig, you're feeling young. How do you think I feel? Said Ben. Mate, you should feel like the fountain of youth. Enjoy it. Enjoy every moment of your youth. Life goes by too quickly. Tippy said I'm 13, mate. Enjoy it. Enjoy it every fucking minute of it. I have a 14-year-old daughter, and I try and tell her the same. Just enjoy your childhood. Enjoy it. Try and be free. Have fun. Try everything. Be creative. Take a chance in life. Don't be scared. Take a risk. Just, do everything. Life is short. You get one chance at this. It's actually class how we're all different ages and generations, but are brought together on this. It is cool. It's really cool. And it's a big difference between podcasts and YouTube. The massive difference for me was getting to immediately see people's reactions. Podcasts were brilliant. You put them out into the world, people listened to them, and you hope that they liked them, but the only real information you had from them was the numbers. So you had your statistics, and you could see where people were watching, how long they listened, where they were from, all that kind of stuff. But with this, it's instant. You can see people's reactions, you can get jokes, you can interact, and it's great. But the good news is, and I do have some good news for a change, we told you about Crack On, and we told you that Connor and I are starting that new podcast, and that's going to go ahead. Again, no time scale on it just yet, but we were talking and we were in discussions when we were setting up for this, and we decided that we're going to bring back an Anfield Agenda podcast. So we're going to do a weekly podcast. We're going to put it out on iTunes, we're going to put it out on Acast, all the other podcasting sites. We'll put it up on here as well, but it's going to be audio only, so you won't get the video aspect, mainly because it saves us a lot of time. But we want to do it because we feel like we need to give back, and it's something that a lot of people missed from when we put them out. So we're going to do a podcast once a week. It'll probably be an hour to an hour and a half long, and we'll start that in maybe 3 or 4 weeks, but it is coming up. We do have it in the pipeline. We're sorting it out now. Again, we're listening to everyone's feedback, and this is just our way of saying to you guys, like, we do listen. People have messaged us about the pods, asking us are they coming back. So again, we are listening and we're trying our best, and we're going to fund this, of course, again ourselves, because YouTube won't give us any money. So we're funding this one ourselves as well, which is why we're kind of going to try and push people, if they want to help with the channel, towards the GoFundMe page or the Kickstarter page or the Ko-fi page, or whichever one Connor goes with in the end. We've put it down in there what we're going to be buying. We've labelled the camera, the equipment we want to buy, and the amount we're trying to raise. Other than that, it's over to you guys. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We're not going to lose much sleep over it. If it works, great. I love how Liverpool and Scotland have such a magnificent connection. Robbo, Kenny, Souness, Hansen, Nicol, Shankly, even Gerrard with Rangers. There's a documentary in there, mate, and there probably has been one made. Myself and Connor were looking at doing something around the Irish connection to Liverpool at some point, because there's a big Irish connection there as well over the years. But there's certainly Scotland, and you've missed somebody out there, and it's easy to miss him out, because I struggle to remember his name at time. But you've got, what's the guy's name? Danny Wilson, the guy we signed from Rangers. That's another Scot that played, and of course we've Charlie Adam as well. Charlie fucking Adam. Craig, what about the Crack On t-shirts? They're coming, don't you worry about that. The logo, I think, lends itself really nicely to t-shirts, hoodies, stuff like that. Yeah, that's definitely coming. A few of you may have noticed as well on social media, the Anfield Agenda Twitter account has now become the smaller account, and I've taken back the bigger account as my personal account, because basically I want to keep the two things separate. I want to keep, because we're doing Crack On, I want to keep that separate. So my @CopJaffer_LFC account is now the one that has 27 or so thousand followers, whatever it is, because that was originally my account. So yeah, just in case anybody was wondering, because a few people have asked me about that. Craig, any stuff you put on is great by me, podcasts, etc. It gets me through my night shifts when I'm loading containers onto ships. Passes the time. I scroll through all your stuff. Thank you, Kev. You load containers onto ships, mate. That scares the fuck out of me, because I used to work in a factory called A.O. Smith, and my job used to be, they used to make refrigerator motors, so my job at the time used to be, I worked a little crane that lifted the motor from one section over onto another section. And one of my very first days working there, I pressed the release button and smacked the fucking motor down onto my foot, and it swelled up like a balloon. And ever since then, I've been petrified to go near anything like that. And here's you lifting up fucking containers. Jesus Christ. John Wark, Tom Boland said as well, good show. Watford is away, correct? It is indeed 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. That's a tricky one for me. Let's hope the lads come home fit and ready for the kick-off. It's a tough game, Claire, you're right. It's not going to be easy. Watford have been in good form this season. Free scoring as well. They attack quite well. But we can do it. We can go there and get the victory. Manchester City have some tricky games coming up. I think 4 of their next 6, something like that, are away from home. So could be some points dropped there as well. Basically, Craig wants to be a social influencer, said Connor. Absolutely. Social influencer. What else were we saying? I want to be... Hang on, I wrote this down with Connor the other day and we were talking about it. I can't remember. Social influencer. Hashtag meat is murder. What else was I going to put up on the account just to wind people up? Connor hates the phrase social influencer, by the way. So if you ever want to wind him up on Twitter or anything like that, just hashtag him in something with social influencer, because he fucking hates that phrase. Craig, I remember when Scottish and Ireland players were classed as foreign players. There you go. That is look, it's weird talking about that over here, Stephen, because every young lad I know that's done well in football has gone over to England at some stage or another, and it really is to the detriment of the Irish League. But it's a tricky situation, and one that I don't think will ever stop, because the lure of English football is too strong for Irish players. And it may be the same in Scotland, but at least to an extent they have a professional league. The Irish League is professional in the whole, I think, at this moment in time, but it's still never going to be at the level that's going to keep the best talent over here. Netherlands need a draw against Germany to progress, said Andre. I'm on the reserve list for Watford away in my members club. Hope I get it. Going to be a tough game. It is going to be a tough game, Kev, you're right. They're a pretty good team this year. The manager's got them playing really well. But I think we can go there and get the win. I honestly do. I think we're at the point now where it's very hard for other teams to break us down. And we've seen how many clean sheets we've kept this year. But the good news is that our players are away in international duty and seem to be on form. We've spoken today about Gini scoring, about Mo Salah scoring, and we had Trent scoring yesterday. We had Alisson making good saves today as well. So all signs are pointing to positivity for the Reds. So we can go there and get the 3 points. Let's just believe that we can. Craig, is there a watch along for Watford? Yes, I promise you this week, mate, there absolutely is a watch along. Well, I say this week, it's next week, but yes, there absolutely is. Solanke scored 2 yesterday, said Lee. There you go. That must have been, wasn't an underage game for England or something? What do you think of Richard Scudamore and clubs paying him 250k? I don't mind it because he's done such a good job for the Premier League. Very much disagree. LFC _5. Don't disagree that he's done a cracking job. I fully agree with you on that one. I actually spoke about this, I think, the last 2 nights on streams. Richard Scudamore has done an excellent job for the Premier League. When he started, the Premier League television revenue was around 1.6 billion or something like that, and now when he's leaving, it's 5.1 billion for the latest round of Premier League rights. So there's no doubt that he's brought a lot of money into the owners of Premier League clubs, but at the same time he's been fairly well compensated. His wages are £900,000 a year with a £1.6 million bonus, so that brings him to £2.5 million a year. He's been in his role for, I think, in excess of 15 years, if memory serves correct. So he's earned a lot of money in his role. For him to get this non-contractual 250 grand from every club. Now let's bear in mind a couple of things here, and these are points that were brought to me by somebody else. These aren't my ideas. The 250 grand a club sounds like nothing. So let's just assume everybody agreed to give him the money, which of course I don't agree with. I absolutely do not agree with. I can't be clear enough on that one. But somebody said to me, okay, it's okay, but Cardiff City are only in the Premier League this year. Other teams have been yo-yo teams like Aston Villa and stuff. So why should the 20 teams that are in the Premier League this year have to pay when the likes of Aston Villa, Leeds and stuff like that, who would have been in it for much longer, don't have to pay? That to me makes no sense. Cardiff only just got up, but yet they're being asked to pony up 250 grand. Whereas Aston Villa and stuff, and the clubs that went down, West Bromwich Albion, they're not being asked to pony up 250 grand. So you've got the unfair aspect of it, and then you've got the point that clubs don't have to fucking pay this money. This is not contractually obliged. Bruce Buck, the Chelsea chairman, can go fuck himself as far as I'm concerned with this one. I have seen letters coming in from official supporters clubs, official Liverpool supporters clubs from America, other messages from around the world. Liverpool fans are very much against this, as are most other football fans from what I can see. 250 grand sounds like nothing, and I have to keep going back. You're right, Richard Scudamore has done a very good job, but he's being compensated for that job, and he's being kept on, I believe, in an advisory role, which means he can be brought back in, he can be paid again in the future. This just stinks. It's a PR nightmare. It's an absolute no-no. It's a slap in the face for fans, for food banks, for local charities, for community causes, for so many other good causes that could have this money. And that's, you know, clubs don't even have to pay out this money. So people are saying clubs should just give it somewhere else. Even if it just stayed with the club, it's still money that shouldn't be going out to Mr. Scudamore. It's just wrong in my opinion, regardless of what a good job he's done. None of us got that type of a bonus when we left the job, even if we did a good job. The bonus that wasn't written into our contracts. I mean, have any of your bosses rang you up over the past few weeks and said, do you remember when you worked for me last year? Well, I was thinking about it, we did really well that year, so I want to give you a massive bonus. It just stinks to me, mate. I don't know, both Joe and VVD and the Lift VVD partnership are looking amazing, said Andre. Connor said, like, at what point do you go to your bio and put influencer in it? Egotistical nonsense. I think if you're trying to make money from your account, Connor, and you're trying to pawn merchandise, you're trying to sell merchandise, or get people to drink certain things or wear certain things, then maybe you can call yourself an influencer. I don't know, mate. Having never been an influencer myself, I'll have to bow down to your knowledge on that one. Arnold scored, Solanke scored twice, Salah scored the winner, and Wijnaldum scored, said Louis. There you go. Great day for the Reds. Who scored for the Netherlands tonight? I couldn't recognise the name watching it. All I know it was Wijnaldum, mate. After that I haven't got a Scooby-Doo. They can't go Moreno if they want. I was just shocked we actually have a 3 o'clock kickoff. Didn't know if it was legal. Yes, it is. It's mad. 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday. Don't even know how I'm going to get to watch the game, actually. I haven't even thought about whether it's not going to be on Sky or anything, but I'll have to find a stream somewhere to watch it, of course. But either way, 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday. It's nice to have them occasionally, isn't it? The Pies Panenka penalty, said Louis. Is the Watford match Saturday or Sunday next week? It's Saturday at 3 PM. The Pie is amazing, would love him at Liverpool. I talked about this as well last night, Andre. He's not for me, mate. No doubt in his talent. I'm not going to sit here and say he can play excellent. He can do amazing things, but he's a moody little fucker. And he's already moaned about the Leon manager leaving him out this season in the media, and that's not something I'd want to see at my club. And I've heard stuff about his attitude as well. And I'm not talking about the usual attitude shit that we hear about, oh, he's just not doing well, he must have a bad attitude. I mean, I've quite literally heard stuff about his attitude that he's up his own arse, as far as I'm aware. He could easily go to Spain and make them the richest league. They're already attracted to a lot of players. Don't think he could, mate. I honestly don't think he could. If he could go to Spain and make them the richest league, do you not think that they would have paid him a lot more money? And here's where I'm going with this one. Richard Scudamore's equivalent in the NFL, so the equivalent job that somebody's doing with the NFL, that gets paid $11 million a year. So he's probably being underpaid in his role. So do you not think if he could deliver La Liga the most TV revenue of any football league in the world, that they wouldn't be fucking throwing money at him? They wouldn't, tens of millions to get him over there. He couldn't do it. The Premier League is the most watched league in the world. So there's no way that, well, actually I'm saying that and I don't know if that's true. But what we can say is it's the highest earning league in the world. I assume it's the most watched league in the world. I haven't got stats on me to back that up. La Liga, in the UK and Ireland, they've made a massive fuck up. The rights going to 11, I think is the crowd now that showed them. I don't know anybody that still watches La Liga football from a paid context. People watch it in dodgy streams and stuff, but I'm not aware of anyone who has an 11 subscription. They're an online only subscription as far as I'm aware in the UK and Ireland. And that's lost a lot of the marketplace. You've got a whole, 2 countries, 3 countries there. 4 countries actually that aren't watching La Liga or watch a lot less La Liga. So I don't know if he could, is the short answer. But he is very good at his job. I'm not debating that. Craig, your bonus will be paid in Diet Chav and Adidas vouchers. That's good enough for me, mate. Bring it on. Absolutely. I'll take Diet Chav. Thank you very much. We will be decent, also give some competition to Mane, but I doubt he'll join as he still likes Manchester United. I don't want him near the club, to be fair. I really don't. There's a lot of younger Reds, and I spoke about this last night. It does seem to be younger Reds that want him at the club. Not that that should make any difference, younger or older. He just seems to have a bit more of a following amongst younger Reds. Heard the same about Shaqiri, Aubameyang, etc., but I don't see it now. Yes, you're right. I didn't really hear it about Aubameyang too much. Shaqiri, I heard about moodiness. I heard it about Danny Sturridge, and that came to be completely untrue, because Danny Sturridge has been fucking superstar at Liverpool, particularly towards the younger players. He's definitely seen as a big brother type fella. So yeah, I get where you're coming from. Sometimes perceptions can be absolutely wrong. Depay has performed well for Lyon. Ndombele had a go at the Lyon manager while he was told to go off. No, I absolutely know 100% that Depay had a moan about the Lyon manager when he was left out of the squad. Absolutely 100% sure that he had a moan about the Lyon manager. What have we got? Alisson Becker has now kept 11 clean sheets in all competitions this season. Good start for him. Well done to Alisson Becker. How nice is it that we're talking about clean sheets, centre back problems in a good way, because they're all so fucking good. You had Croatia beating Spain, which was a massive shock, and it was great to see Degsy sticking the boot in, wasn't it, to Ramos. Love that. Love seeing that. Put Spain in their place. Good man. La Liga only has 3 or 4 top teams. That's it. Did anybody see what was going on with the Valencia account? By the way, Connor messaged me earlier on. That was unbelievable. And if Connor's in the chat, he can describe this a lot better than me. And I hope it was true. I want to believe it was true, but it was absolutely fucking nuts. Not a fan of internationals, but Trent, Salah, Gini all scored. Alisson and Firmino both get 90 minutes. Hendo got some minutes. Good start so far. England have another game, don't they, on Sunday against Croatia. Some countries only have 1 international and others have 2, so fingers crossed the players come back without injuries, because that's the last thing we need, is players picking up injuries. Did anybody see that Mendy is out for 6 weeks now for Manchester City? He pulled out the French squad after the Manchester United game because of a knee issue. He went and had his knee looked at, and he's done some damage to it. Is it his meniscus or something like that? I don't think it's his ligament. Or it's not his anterior ligament. He's out for 6 weeks, so that's another blow for Manchester City. De Bruyne out there as well. I'm taking any positive I can get at this moment in time, and I never wish for players to be injured, but when they are injured, you do have to look at it as a positive, particularly when they've got 4 out of their next 5 or 6 games away from home. Oh yeah, I've heard about that Depay thing, said Louis. Lovren is the best. Gotta love Degsy. Gotta love him. He just doesn't give up. I love that about him. Connor said Valencia Twitter's admin saying that he'll get sacked if he doesn't get the account to 100,000. And he kept going on about it a little bit more as well. So he said, I love you guys. Seriously, I need to get this. I'm an intern, and if I get it to 100,000, I'll get a job. And then a couple of tweets later, he said, I've been called into the office, guys. Pray for me. This was coming from the official Valencia Twitter account. Now imagine that was being posted out from the Liverpool account or the United account. We'd have a fucking field day with it. Craig Chamberlain features in a YouTube video about his rehab. He's been training with Brewster. I seen that one, Stephen. I retweeted it earlier on. He said that he was doing well with his left leg, but his right leg isn't quite up to strength yet. But always great to see Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain making some progress, and just seeing that smile on his face as well. What a fella. And great to see Brewster getting ready as well. So more positive news, Stephen. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain training a little bit harder, Brewster training, nothing but good news there. Ben said Lovren equals best defender in the world. Anybody remember when he said that after beating England in the World Cup? He got to the World Cup final. Got to give him that one. He got to a Champions League final and a World Cup final in one season. Good old Degsy. It's a big game for England. If they win, they come first in the group. No doubt it'll put them in a good team. It's funny, if they win, they come first. If they lose, they get relegated. It's a really weird situation. So England have to either win the game or have a 0-0 draw. That's my reading of this. If England have a score draw against Croatia or lose, they get relegated. That's how tough that group is. So the winner takes all, but if it's a draw, it'll be interesting, depending on what type of draw it is. Lovren elbowed Ramos and called him a pussy. What a fucking champ. He's using Ramos' shithouse tactics against the creator of it. Damn fucking right. And did you see the lovely picture he put up as well of where he rose above him with a header in the penalty area and Ramos was kind of cowered down like this? It was a beautiful image. Well done to Eggsy. I wouldn't mind the play at Liverpool. He could be a talent. You have to back him, Craig. If he shows up, what's your thoughts too on January window? Anybody that comes into our club, mate, I'm behind 100%. If Depay was a Liverpool player tomorrow, he would get my backing without a shadow of a doubt. 100%. Thoughts on the window is that my thoughts are changing as the window's approaching. If you would have asked me maybe 2 weeks ago, I'd have probably said to you, nah, it's not happening, nobody's coming in. But now, as the window's approaching, and I'm seeing links to players. We've seen the talk about Pulisic, although I've seen him strongly linked to Chelsea, which somebody mentioned to me last night in the media today. We've seen the links to De Ligt, and of course we've seen the links to Fekir as well. Talk around, who were we speaking about yesterday as well as it was De Ligt, it was Ousmane Dembele, sorry, the other link that's coming out. Now I watched something on ESPN about Ousmane Dembele. Somebody in the chat sent it to me here. Brian, I think it was Brian. It was Brian. Brian sent me the link to an ESPN video about Dembele, and yeah, he seems like he's a bit of a fucking head case, a bit of a troublemaker, a bit more than I even thought he was. And Barcelona are going to have a tricky situation to decide what they're going to do with him, because they have to protect their asset. They also have to develop the player. But there's a decision there to be made. Are they going to try and improve him, or are they going to try and move him on? There's been strong links to Liverpool, and it's been going back quite a while as well. Mbappe and Griezmann with those invisible cloaks on tonight, said Andre. Well look, I'll give Mbappe a pass, but Griezmann, I've long said this about Griezmann. Again, can he be an absolute superstar? 100%, but he's so fucking inconsistent. All the Griezmann fanboys that are on social media need to get a grip, because him and Neymar, in my eyes, are, maybe fraud is the wrong word to use, but they're absolutely overhyped. They're absolute YouTube footballers, and I think Griezmann's celebration gets him more fucking goodwill than his actual footballing play. So for me, Griezmann and Neymar are two people that I just think are completely overhyped by so much of the footballing world. Have they got talent? Yes, of course they have. I'm not going to come on here like be an idiot and say they're not great footballers, but they're nowhere near the elite level or the very top of the world that some people are putting them at. I wouldn't mind the pie. I've read that one. Lovren is the king of football psychology, said Claire. Ramos is starting to be a crybaby. Fuck him. And don't forget, this is Dejan Lovren, hotelier extraordinaire. He opened his hotel in Croatia last year as well, so you gotta love Degsy. I love him. I have to say, he's won me over the years. Once he became Mo Salah's bestie and started arriving with the coffee, then that was enough for me. I mean, fair fucks to him. Sorry guys, I'm just messing with my mic here a little bit. I'm just trying to improve the audio a tiny bit. What else we got? Craig, I hope that we get Madrid this season. Virgil will finish Ramos off. He'll squash him like a fucking bug, Stephen. Like a fucking bug. Like the cockroach that he is. Hopefully Oxlade-Chamberlain will come back the same or better, said Tony. I sincerely hope so, Tony. Because he was one hell of a player, before he picked up that injury. And he played a big part in Liverpool's Champions League run last year. So it was a massive blow for him to do his ACL against Roma like that. And the way he took it, the way he's come back from it, like a fucking champion that he is, lots of love for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, and I hope, like you, mate, that he comes back and eventually gets to 100% again, because it's tough to know with an ACL like that. Griezmann is kind of cringe at times, especially with his celebration. That and the whole thing around the move to Barcelona, mate. I know I keep banging on about this. Whenever we talk about Griezmann, I'm aware that I keep talking about his two videos that he made, one saying that he will go to Barcelona and one saying that he won't. But that is an absolute fucking slap in the face for Atletico Madrid fans, to know that that little prick made two videos. One saying that he's going to Barca, one saying he's going to Atletico, and he didn't let the TV channel know which one until about an hour or so beforehand, which one to air. He filmed both fucking endings. That's how much of a prick that lad is. Griezmann is the rich man's Hazard. There you go. Neymar is a total fraud, said Brian. Oh mate, I'm so glad you wrote that. He really is. He's an absolute fucking whinge bag. Has he got talent? Yes. If Neymar had Ronaldo's work rate, if he put in the effort that Cristiano Ronaldo has put into his career, my fucking god, what a player he'd be. If he had the attitude that Messi has on the field, Messi gets the fuck kicked out of him week in, week out, and has done for the past, I don't know, 13 years or something, whatever he's been around. And he just gets up, bounces back up onto his feet and gets on with the game because he's a fucking superstar and he's somebody the kids should look up to, much like Cristiano Ronaldo is on a football field. I don't like Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm not a fan of Cristiano Ronaldo, but I'm very respectful of his ability on a football field and the work that he's put in to get to where he has as a footballer. Neymar is, for me, just the complete opposite. He is wasting so much talent. Bobby was off again today. He needs a rest, said Krishna. I hope he gets that rest, mate. I don't know what's up. I don't know what's up with Bobby. I don't know if playing a bit deeper for Liverpool isn't suiting him, but I love Bobby. He's my favourite player in the Liverpool squad, and I want him back to his best. And I'm sure he will. I've every faith that he will. Every player is going to go through these little sticky patches, but it's Bobby, man. He'll be back. Neymar is the epitome of an amazing football talent, has been totally destroyed by his ego. True. And money. Absolute money. Like, he gets pandered to unbelievably. He gets 2 days off or something for his birthday every year so we can go party. It's just weird. It's just weird, that lad. What else have we got? Degsy is the new Raggy, said Stephen Richards. He's a bit better though, to be fair. One thing I'll say about Dejan Lovren is, after what happened at that Spurs game last year in Wembley, his career looked like it could be finished at Liverpool. Fans were all over his back. It was going down as one of the worst defensive displays we'd seen in a Liverpool shirt. He had a lot to do to come back from there. And I want to say this, and I want to say this clearly. He has been almost fucking faultless since he's come back from that. He has rebuilt his career at Liverpool. He has worked his ass off. He's put in performances. He's gone away with Croatia, got to a World Cup final, Champions League final with Liverpool. And his level has continued to at least maintain a high level, sometimes even go up. So I think Dejan Lovren needs to start getting the credit that his performances have deserved. He was very inconsistent for a very long time. But like many defenders, particularly centre-backs, he's getting to that period of his career now where he knows what to do. He knows what his job is about. He knows what's expected of him. He knows how to do it. He's just got better with age, and I'm glad that we have him in this Liverpool squad. I'm happy to have Dejan Lovren playing for Liverpool Football Club. What else have we got? Chucky Lozano is better than Neymar. Somebody said to me about Lozano, that's the guy from PSG, isn't it? Somebody, or not PSG, PSV, excuse me. Somebody was saying that they think we could get him for between 9 and 15 million. And I was just looking at that going, nah, that's not going to happen. He seems to be having a very good season for PSV. PSV are unbeaten, or I think on a 100% record in the Eredivisie. Is that what it's called? The Eredivisie, I think that's what the Dutch league is called. And doing really well in the Champions League as well. So there's no way he's going to be got for that cheap. Neymar is the Calvin Klein underwear ad reject because he weighs about 100 pounds soaking wet, holding a brick. I love that you threw in the holding a brick part. Neymar makes me laugh. Leaves Barca for PSG to win the Ballon d'Or and walks straight into Mbappe. That's the thing, isn't it? As you said, he left Barcelona. He said he left Barcelona because he wanted to win the Ballon d'Or. That just shows you that he knows he's never going to be the best player in the world. Because the best player in the world would not have that fucking attitude. The best player in the world would say, fuck Messi. I'm going to show that I am the best player in the world. And I'm going to leave Barcelona in no doubt about who the superstar is. And I'm going to make the world see that I am the best player in the world. That's what the best player in the world does. He doesn't go running off to Paris Saint-Germain for a serious wage to play in a much weaker league and have infinitely less chance of winning the Champions League. I don't understand. That move for me was about one thing and one thing only, and that is fucking money. Money, 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 and possibly the opportunity to get back and go to Madrid at some point. But look, as soon as he made that move, for me, that was the end of any credibility that Neymar had. He's an absolute fucking fraud. He's the epitome of a YouTube footballer, and he's a highlight reel footballer. He's something that the kids just show, and they pick up all his amazing goals and they just show it over and over again, and you can't argue with them, you can't talk to them about it, because they just say, but what about this, this, this and this? He's a fraud. I'm not an England supporter, albeit English, but I actually watched the match yesterday and I'm almost getting patriotic. It was quite nice to see after a freaking long time. You've got to give Gareth Southgate credit, Claire. He's come in and he's given players a chance. He hasn't just gone with the old guard. He hasn't gone with the big names. Sometimes to a degree he has. He's pandered to Harry Kane perhaps a little bit, but again, that's probably understandable. But in the whole, I think he's done an excellent job with that England team. He's brought through players, he's given more players an opportunity, and he's been rewarded because these players have taken their opportunities. Wilson yesterday, first game for England, scored. Well done to him. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joe Gomez, all starting to get a look in now. It's brilliant. It's really, really good to see if you're an English fan. I'm not, clearly, but I still respect what he's doing. I'm very happy to see Southgate doing so well, because England always underachieve. They should have done so much better. From an outsider's perspective, watching and looking in at England around World Cups, Ireland have qualified for a few major tournaments, and what we get over here beforehand is hope. No expectation, but hope. The media gets behind the team and everybody pulls in one direction. When England get to a World Cup, what it looks like to me from the outside is that the media almost try and find a way of fucking it up before it starts. They come with a scandal, or they try and find something about a player or a bribe, or they do something to bring down the entire fucking mood of the England camp before any major tournament, and I don't get that. And then I suppose I do get it, because then they're the very ones to come back and say, oh, underachieved again, absolute didn't do it, England's golden nation or England's golden generation fail again, yada yada yada. Just not the right way. The media need to play the fucking game. If they want England to be successful, they got to back the team, they got to get behind them, they got to build a nation. And it was good to see in the World Cup in Russia. I seen a bit of that. I seen the media and the English fans get behind each other. It was good. It was good to see them. It was never going to happen. They were never going to win the World Cup, but it was still good to see. I feel sorry for Messi and all the other La Liga forwards. They have to deal with the mega cunt Ramos every week. I always like Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Even when he played for the Gunners, I used to buy him on FIFA before we got him for real, said Tony. I still laugh, Tony, at the amount of Arsenal fans that think that they absolutely pulled their pants down when we bought him for 40 million. I'm more than happy to have got Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain for that money at this football club. And I think he's proved himself already. Whatever happens with his injury, we'll have to wait and see. But for me, he's been a great addition to the club. If Liverpool got Madrid in the Champions League, Salah would snap both of Ramos's arms off, said Ben. I would be interested to see what would happen in that game. I really, really would. Something would have to happen. Something would happen. I'll tell you what would happen. There'd be extra cameras at the game. There'd be a fucking Ramos cam for that game, just going around following every single thing that he does on that pitch. I believe that statement that Firmino was the most underrated striker in the Premier League. I agree, particularly by opposition fans, Tony. Liverpool fans have long known what Bobby Firmino is about and what he brings to a game, but I think it's taken opposition fans a lot longer to realise how good Bobby Firmino is and how dynamic he is and what he can bring to a game, and how many aspects of his game are really strong and how many different parts of the field he can influence at once. Neymar is as good at football as Man City's accountants are at maths. Creative? He's probably as fucking creative as those cunts are. I think that's a fairer way of looking at it, Stephen. He's as creative with a football as Manchester City's accountants are with maths. Messi is a football genius, no other words, and fought for what he has accomplished. He is... I almost find it not disgraceful, that's too much of a word, but I can't believe that the Messi versus Ronaldo argument is even a conversation. I cannot believe it. For me, there is no doubt, and we've had this conversation before, and I know other people disagree, and that's grand. It's all about opinion, but Messi is the best player in the world, hands down. Just over the last 15 years. I don't want to go back because I have no right to speak about the days of George Best or Pele or Maradona, because they were before my time and I didn't get to see them. But in my adult life, or even my child life, watching football, Lionel Messi is the best footballer I've ever seen with my two eyes. He is absolutely fucking amazing. There's nothing he can't do with a ball. He's done stuff that's ridiculous. He's got a great attitude. I've seen him get the shit kicked out of him, bounce back up like a fucking weeble who just won't go down. You know, one of them things that are just like this, they just wait down. When you hit it down, it just pops back up. He's like that some of the time. He's just unbelievable. Lovren doesn't speak with anybody when he makes a mistake for days. Brian said, I'd fucking love Madrid in the quarters if we get there. Welcome to Anfield, lads. I'd love us to get to the final. It's in the, is it the Wanda Metropolitano Stadium, Atletico Stadium? I'd love to go over there. The two Champions League finals that I've managed to go to have been in Athens and Istanbul. I didn't get over to last year's one because I couldn't afford it. I just couldn't get over. But a trip to Madrid would be rather fucking nice and be a lot easier to get to as well. Sir Degsy, your new cult hero, said Tom. And guys, look, if anybody has joined us late for tonight's stream, we spoke about Kenny Dalglish, or excuse me, Sir Kenny Dalglish, at the start of the stream. But if anybody has any moments or any memories that they want to talk about King Kenny, this is the time, this is the place. We're happy to read them out again. Send them in. This is to celebrate Kenny Dalglish getting a knighthood, a well-deserved knighthood. Congratulations to him, Marina, Paul, Kelly, the rest of the family. It's very well deserved. And Kelly Cates, as I said, put up an image of her father getting the knighthood, and no look knighthood was the image because Prince Charles was looking away. It was just beautiful. It was beautiful humour in a very humbling moment for her family. Beautiful. I just don't know what else to say. Beautiful is the word that keeps coming out of my mouth. But it's been I don't know why it's been a moving day for me. I'm only a Liverpool fan from Ireland. I'm not somebody who's had interactions with Kenny Dalglish or known Kenny Dalglish, but it just feels like a day where it means a little bit of something to all of us. It's just something special about today, and Kenny Dalglish getting knighted. It's fitting, it's right, it's beautiful, it's timely. Well, it's probably, should have happened a long time ago, but yeah, it's lovely, and it's lovely to see that he took it with the grace and dignity at which it was offered to him. So congratulations, King Kenny, Sir King Kenneth Dalglish. Sounds good, doesn't it? Sir Kenny Dalglish. How good does that sound? I love when people make their ins and outs lists. Ronaldo 6 million, Messi 15 million, Isco 20 million, out Lovren 60 million, Markovic 30 million. Yeah, I get you. I've seen a few of them over the past few weeks as well. Right, so we bring in this fella, and this fella, and they value him, as Connor said, about half his actual price, and then they're selling our players for twice as much as we're ever going to get for them. And then they forget that there's any tax or anything on any of those agents' fees. It's just a straight in and out. I was thinking the other day, it's such a shame that Ronaldinho didn't grace the Premier League, said Cobra. He was supposed to sign for Manchester United, but the story goes, and I've no right to say if this is real or not, but the legend, the story is that he asked Manchester United that there be a helicopter that could bring him down to London, after every weekend's games, so that he could go to the nightclubs in London, and then the helicopter to bring him back up to Manchester. Apparently that was the breaking point of the conversations. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I hope the fuck it is, because it's the most Ronaldinho type thing ever. But that's what I remember hearing at the time, that he asked for a helicopter to bring him down to nightclubs in London and then bring him back up to Manchester. And when they said no, he went to Barcelona. It was very close, I believe, at the time as well. Hit the like button, ladies and gents, said Kev. Please do. And Connor said to me earlier on, we're only 11 subscribers away from 4,500. So if you're watching, guys, and you haven't subscribed, be an absolute fucking legend and hit that subscribe button. And of course, drop a like on the stream as well. Just a little hello to the guy who'll be putting the 2 dislikes as well. Just a little hello to you, mate. I hope you're well. You keep hitting that dislike button, buddy. It makes me smile every time that you do it. But to the legends that are on here now, please do hit that like button. It only takes a second. And again, just to reiterate, I said this earlier on in the stream, but people may have joined us late. We will be starting another Anfield Agenda podcast. It will be a weekly podcast. When we're going to go through it in the next couple of weeks and get it sorted for you. But we did listen. People asked us to bring it back. So it will be there. It'll be audio only. It'll be out on iTunes, Acast, Podbean, all the usual apps. But yeah, we're bringing it back because you guys asked for it and it's your channel. So we do what we're told. Tom, I'm a trekking guide here, loving what I do in the mountains. Claire, do you know what? And I'm addressing you here, I suppose. Apologies to everybody else, but I'm literally at the stage now of having conversations with my wife about where we're going in life. And I don't mean as a couple. I mean, my wife's amazing. It's nothing like that. I'm talking about as a family, because I often come on here and say to people, you get one life, especially when I was talking to kids or younger people earlier on in the stream. I was saying, look, you get one life, live it, take chances, do it. I need to heed my own words. So taking inspiration from what Claire has said there, and she's moved over, is it the Andes? If I'm correct, Claire, is it the Andes that you're over in? You're a trekking guide. I need to grow a pair and make the move in my life, because I don't want to live in Ireland. I want to move out of Ireland because I need warm weather. My mental health massively suffers in this country. It's a beautiful country with the nicest people in the world, but I want to move to America or Australia or New Zealand or somewhere warm, and I want to take the plunge in the next 12 to 18 months. And I've been having these conversations with my wife more and more over the coming weeks, and she's coming around to it as well. So if there's anybody watching and you happen to live in Florida, Texas, Australia, New Zealand, and you happen to, you know, have any insight into immigration law, or you've got a business that wants to sponsor this Irish idiot to come over, hit me up, because it's a serious thing. Our family do want to move. It's scary as fuck, but I can't just give out advice to people all the time and say, take chances in life, roll the dice. I've got to heed it myself, and I'm 37 years of age now. I'm at that point in life where I feel like I need to seize the moment and push on. I can do this from anywhere in the world. I can do Anfield Agenda wherever I am. I can do podcasts wherever I am, but I want to give my family a different aspect of life. I want to go and see a different part of the world. I want to live in a different part of the world. So anybody out there, if you're watching, and probably not going to happen, but hit me up at Anfield Agenda, at @CopJaffer_LFC on Twitter, or email me and we'll have a chat. Or if you have any advice or anything like that, it'll be very much appreciated, particularly when it comes to America, because they like the health insurance and that scares the shit out of me. Did anybody see Messi and Pogba having dinner together? I hope Pogba leaves for Barcelona so United can rot to the shithole that it is. That midfield would be the worst in the Premier League if he leaves. I read a conversation that people were having, I read the transcript of the conversation that people were having about Manchester United in general, and it really is an average squad. If I was a United fan and I took off my red tinted glasses and I was looking at that squad, and as you said there, mate, if you take Pogba out of that squad, who are you left with? Realistically, who are you left with there of a world class nature? You've got a goalkeeper that is world class without a shadow of a doubt, but wants to leave the club and his contract's running down. You've got Anthony Martial, whose contract is coming to the end, and he's he can move on for free in a year or so, and United are trying to offer him serious money. They're after giving Luke Shaw a ridiculous contract to stay at left back. I mean, he's on more than 3 times the money Trent Alexander-Arnold's on. I think he's on 200 grand a week or something. As somebody else has said there, the midfield is dog shit. They're after having to give Young a new contract to keep him on. They've signed Fellaini on a new deal last summer. Their centre backs are dog shit. I mean, where is this Manchester United team? They need so much. So when I hear people say, "Oh, bring Mourinho," boot Mourinho out, bring in what's his name to manage them. God, sorry, my mind went blank there for a second. Bring him out and bring in Zidane. It's not going to happen. Zidane would have to do a complete rebuilding job on that squad. There's so much work to be. It's fucking great to sit here and say that, though. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm over the moon that United squad is dog shit. But for them to even get top 4 this year would be an achievement. Especially after the way they've started, because they haven't had a great start at all. What are we, 10 points clear of them or something at this stage, which is fucking great. When Sir Kenny told Wenger to fuck off at the Emirates over a penalty. Yep, I remember that one clearly. I was born in 78, so I grew up with Kenny. He meant everything, said Brian. Again, giving away your age there, buddy. 3 years older than me. But yeah, I just missed Kenny. As I said, I got all of his managerial career, but I just missed him as a player. But what a man. I've always looked up to him. He is statesman-like. I think that's the best way of describing Kenny Dalglish. He's absolutely statesman-like. I said about meeting Klopp or being in a press conference with Klopp and shitting myself. And that there's very few people in the world that I've ever been scared of or nervous about. Well, I could not even get a sentence out if I was to speak to Kenny Dalglish. There's no way. The reason Firmino is underrated is that he isn't a goal machine. He does so much more than just score. He drops back to midfield to help and makes passes for Mane and Salah, said Mossy Wossy. All spot on, mate. He does so much more, and that's without the pressing as well and the intelligent runs that he makes to pull people out of position to allow the other players to, you know, shine. It feels like a bit of respect has been given, said Far Oil. King Kenny's smile warms your heart, said Lee. Very nice. Very nicely put, Lee. Sir Kenny is the only human fit enough to lace Voronen's boots, said Andre. Voronen, the poor man's Chuck Norris. Stephen Richard said, Craig, me and Louise class you as a friend now, which is very nice, mate. I class all of you as friends. I sincerely do. Prince Charles looked away because he knew Kenny was more of a king than he'll ever be. Oh, nailed it, Crosby Red. Absolutely nailed it there. Prince Charles had to look away because he knew Kenny is more of a king than he'll ever be. That's my favourite comment so far tonight. Well done. Not that that means anything. I'm just saying it's a fucking amazing comment. King Kenny is like a cute baby chimp. You just want to hold him and look after him. Well done, sir. And look at that. We had the best comment of the night, followed up by the strangest one. In a beautiful way, Anthony. Don't get me wrong. A baby chimp, you just want to hold him and look after him. Again, a beautiful comment. Coming into the summer, however rainy, so trekking gets weird, but it's warm, said Claire. Fuck me, we should have offered him that deal, said Cobra. Sounds about right to me. So happy you loving quotes today. Fuck ranks, said Furno. Exactly. Fuck him. Fuck ranks. Fuck what people say. Degsy's the business, and that's the end of it. End of conversation. Hashtag Degsy's better than Ramos. Hashtag Ramos is Degsy's bitch. Why does Peru just sound dangerous? Maybe I've been watching too much Narcos. I know that's Colombia, but still South America. Man, that's where fucking Winnie the Pooh came from. It has to. Winnie the Pooh came from Peru, so it obviously has to be sound. Winnie the Pooh, man. Not Winnie the Pooh. Fucking Paddington Bear. I've ruined my own little fucking bit there. Paddington Bear. He came from Peru, if memory serves correct. Winnie the Pooh. Oh, stay away from the tablets, Craig. Did you switch your Anfield Agenda and your main account around, Craig? I did, mate. The bigger account was always my personal account. I just gave it to Anfield Agenda when we started this to try and help. But now I've switched them back around again, and Cop Jaffer is the bigger account again. Robbie Fowler was a good player. Damn right he was, Tony. Yeah. People often ask me my favourite Liverpool player of all time. Fowler's the answer for me, and I know there was Gerrard. I know there was fucking many amazing players, but Robbie, for me, something special about that guy. He's called God for a reason, but yeah, Robbie Fowler. I had the pleasure of meeting him a couple of times. Yeah, I've enjoyed every second of being in and around that man. What a man he is. Although he looked a little bit uncomfortable. Did anybody see the video on LFC TV of the Virgil van Dijk song? Jamie Webster singing the Virgil van Dijk song. He was brilliant. I shared it on my Twitter account. Jamie Webster, class as always. Great rendition of the song. Robbie Fowler just looked a little bit awkward though in the video, which was where Macca was getting into it. McAteer was there as well. He was getting into it. But Robbie Fowler just looked a little bit, I don't know, a little bit odd to me in the video. Lovren is a great Bessie from Mo, said Crosby Red. Damn right, you get the coffees in, Crosby Red. What more could you ask for in a Bessie? He shows up every morning with the coffee. That's what you need first thing in the morning. Claire said, it's amazing, Craig, but it's hot. It's freaking freezing most of the year. Wow. It's not, it's freezing, Jesus. No, I'll pass on that one then. So I'll rule Peru off my list, Claire. Colombia was a lovely country. Santa Marta was quite hot, 35 to 38 degrees, said Cobra. Craig, are we gonna see you on a place in the sun? Said Kev. Nah, mate. I wouldn't do any of those programs. It wouldn't be my cup of tea. I'm far too much of a barterer for that, mate, and I would not let anybody else take control of where I look at or at, because I'm someone that likes a deal. So if I'm in there, I'm trying to get every fucking penny out of the deal. I'm an absolute fucker for haggling. Craig, you just hated on Neymar for getting 2 days off for partying when Ronaldinho wants to party. He's a legend. Yeah, exactly. When did I say I wasn't a hypocrite? I'm absolutely a hypocrite. I'm a football fan. But the difference is, Ronaldinho will go out, party, lash cocktails over, do an entire fucking hen party, come back on the Saturday, show up in the field, still half pissed, and he'll still go out and do what Ronaldinho does. He'll still stick 2 on top bins, walk off the field, fucking samba himself off the fucking line at the end of it, back onto the helicopter, back down to the nightclub, lash another few fucking mojitos over, back on again, Champions League on a Tuesday, walk on the field, do his thing, little samba dance, score another couple and bang off again, and that's it. Not a bother out of him. Whereas Neymar gets 2 days off for his birthday, doesn't train, comes back, gets a little kick, rolls around on the ground like a bitch, goes through the match, falls over again, and just doesn't do it. That's the difference. Ronaldinho did his thing. Doesn't matter what shape he was in, doesn't matter how fucking dying he was of a hangover or whatever. Ronaldinho showed up and you got what you wanted from Ronaldinho. That's the difference, mate. And am I looking at him with rose tinted glasses? Yeah, most probably, because I'm a massive fan. But yeah, look, you have a point, but my point really was that Ronaldinho performed on a consistent basis. And he married 2 women recently as well. I mean, the lad is just fucking nuts. He's absolute fucking Looney Tunes. Craig, I would have said move to Liverpool, but you want a warm place. That was considered, but like this was going back maybe 10 years ago. We considered moving to Liverpool. I love winter too much. I hate summer too much. Not sweating and uncomfortable nights in the heat. I'm the opposite, mate. Winter, I really struggle in winter over here in Ireland. Mental health really goes downhill. I really struggle. And summer's so much better. Ireland's a much more beautiful place. Not that we get very hot summers, but for me it's a lot more bearable. So that's the main reason that I have to try and get out of this country. I'm off grid for today, but seriously fucked off. I missed the match. I'm off grid for days, excuse me, sorry, said Claire. I'm seriously fucked off and I missed the match, by the way. Yeah, but you're doing something you love, Claire, so it kind of makes up for it. A lot of people go to work every day and hate their jobs, and football is all that we have, or a lot of people have sometimes, along with family of course. They get us through the hard times or the shitty days. You've got a dream job that you love, so if it means you've got to miss a game or two along the way, I'm sure it's a good compromise. Not that I know your life, not that I'm trying to dictate how you should be feeling, but I just imagine that you're living the dream, and I hope you are. I sincerely do. Craig, my brother lives in Melbourne. Get your arse over to Oz. It's only ill health that stopped me going over. Yeah, that's the scariest of all the moves though. Oz, like it's a scary move. It's so far. Like America's only an 8 or 9 hour flight, but Australia as a mate, and I've got cousins that moved over to Australia. I have a cousin who's an electrician that's living over there. He's making a fantastic living. Married a local girl, has a family over there now, and absolutely loves it. I've 2 people that live 2 doors up from me, or 3 doors up from me when I was growing up, and 2 of them have moved to Australia, and they both love it over there as well. United have an option to extend Martial by 1 year, but that's still fuck all. Same with a couple of the lads out of contract. Mess of a club. Say it again, mate. Mess of a club. Beautiful. Dejan Lovren and Sergio Ramos. Elbow them good. Go ahead and talk now, buddy. They're a bunch of pussies. God bless them. What a man. They've such a good defence last season. Now they're dirt all over the field. What else we got? Sorry, deep as dark as Peru. Winnie the Peru. There you go. If Scousers call you God, it's game over. There you go. I've said there you go about 5 times now in the past fucking few sentences. I should slap myself across the face. Apologies. You guys deserve better than that. Fowler celebration against Everton will always be legendary. Mad for the bags he was. That's the one where he was sniffing the white line, I gather. That was a beautiful celebration. Taking the piss out of the articles that were wrote about him, and rightly so. You'd like to see footballers have a sense of humour as well. I've been pissed with John Aldridge. He my uncle, mate? I've no idea. John Aldridge. I've been pissed with John Aldridge. He's my uncle. Nice. Fucking hell. I'd say you've had a few sessions there with Johnny Aldridge. Nice. I'm jealous as fuck now. I'd love to have gone out on the piss with John Aldridge. Deepest, darkest Peru stuff is always weird to me, given that I live at 3,400 meters altitude. Jesus, that's what 11,500 feet, something like that, Claire. That's crazy. Peru is literally jungle, mountains and beach and everything in between, random and lovely. How did you end up there though, Claire? That really is, like, you don't wake up in the morning and go, yeah, Peru. That sounds like the place for me. Craig, made you Neymar sound like Kaiser, the greatest player that ever played. I made Neymar sound like the Kaiser, the greatest player that ever played. Kaiser being the what's the German guy's name? God almighty. Who? Not Air Kaiser, not Diddy Hamann. Who's the original Kaiser? Somebody older than me can help me out here. Love how Degsy is personally taking the fight to Ramos. Next there should be a video of him topless in a farmyard, calling him out for a fight and shouting gibberish at a camera with a bunch of mad lads behind him. I want to see that video, Brian. Degsy needs to go and make that. Beckenbauer, thank you very much. Franz Beckenbauer, there you go. Connor said, I'd love to emigrate purely so I could get away from all the random shit I can't bear to throw away while I'm here. Just throw it away, Connor. Just fuck it in the bin. You're young, mate. Just get it all together. Burn it. You've got a farm, mate. Just burn it all on the farm. Very true. My job is immense. Not even complaining. But if I miss a Liverpool match, I'm not a human being. True. It is tough. As when I spoke about moving to America and stuff, the time difference was something that I always did take into the equation when I was thinking about it, but I'd still do it. I still think it's the right move. 12,800, holy shit. That's crazy. What is, I don't even want to begin to know. Your red blood cells must be through the roof. Stevie G has said, don't write off Maureen. He's not trying to create an eternal siege mentality, or he's just trying to create an eternal siege mentality. He does that at every club. That's apparently what he's tried to do, or what he's done when he's won the league at every club. Say it's us against them, everybody wants us to fail, yada yada yada. The truth of it is now that he's just a prick, and people just don't like him. He walks over people, fucks them under the bus. I don't know why people, like, why did Luke Shaw sign a new contract? Well, the money obviously, but he must be hoping Mourinho fucks off. Ireland's too small. Moving away from everybody sticking their nose in your business would be bliss, said Mark. That's part of the reason. It is too small. Your options are massively limited, particularly when it comes to media or the type of jobs you can do or the type of opportunities available to you. It is very limited here. So partly because, as you said, everybody knows your fucking business, but I don't mind the community aspect of that in a sense, because I kind of keep to myself anyway, but the size of the country is one of the reasons that I want to get out of it. I want to see Degsy snap Ramos's leg. That's a bit harsh for him now. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Snap, snap, snap. Do you think Anfield Road End will be renovated? Yes, I do. I don't know when, and I don't know exactly how they're going to do it. And by that I mean how they're going to, like, finance it. They're going to have to try and be a little bit creative, I think, about the way they do it, because they obviously can't put any corporate hospitality into it. So I think they're going to have to do some creative accounting or market their tickets a little bit creatively if they do. But I do think it will be done, and I think it will be done after the new training ground is built, because from what I've heard, and I've never been around a massive business like this, but they don't like to take on two, are they called capital projects at once? Basically they're doing the training ground now, they're building an entire new complex there, and they're going to house everybody under one building, so, well, under one environment, or in one area, sorry. So they won't start doing a stadium at the same time as that, from what I can gather. So when that's done, that's when I'd expect some news on the Annie Road end. So I don't know how long it's going to take to get the new training facilities done, but when that's done, I'd expect more news. Only me that can't get used to Sir Kenny will always be king. It will be. You're right. It'll always be King Kenny. He's the only man who has gone from a king down to a sir, but will go back up to a king, but will always be a hero. That's what I was saying earlier on. He was King Kenny, now he's Sir Kenny, but he's always going to be a hero to the many people whose lives he's touched. The Kaiser was a Brazilian man that never actually played football, but was signed by a top club. He was a fraud. Watch the documentary, Craig. Look him up. Great story. I do want to know about that actually now, Kevin. Thank you. I genuinely did not know that. Maureen is a parody of himself now, said Anthony Peters. He is the professional Gark. That's how I look at Maureen. He is the professional Mark Goldbridge. An absolute parody of himself that talks constant shit. That's a major hypocrite, but that's somehow succeeding. That's the funny part of it all. And good night, Stephen, mate. Stay well, and Louise as well. I hope you're both keeping well. Talking about Ireland being too small, I'm from the island of Jersey. Our population is 100k and it's 9 miles by 5 miles wide. That's yeah, I mean, everybody must know your business there. There's no hiding away there. Fucking hell. 100,000 people. That's, I think the town I live in must be nearly at that. So, that's crazy. Must be tough to go on the Mitch or anything there. By Mitch I mean the hide from school or anything like that when you were younger. Go to San Diego if you're thinking of going stateside. Amazing part of the world. Great landscape and buzz in the area altogether. Yeah, I did look at California, Mark. It's one part of America I haven't been to. We've been to Florida on numerous occasions, like 5 or 6 times, and we're hoping to get over to Texas next year for a holiday to have a look down that neck of the woods before we go and make any serious decisions. But as the case in all of these situations, your job prospects and your opportunities are what's going to dictate where you might move to. So I'm going to have to seriously look into work or starting a project or starting a company in one of these countries. And that's why I'm saying, if anybody out there is looking for anybody, hit me up. I'm always open to availability or to offers or suggestions. Somehow my phone thought I was talking to it there and tried to turn itself on. There's a mad lad from Brazil nicknamed Kaiser that basically pretended to be a pro footballer for 20 years. Crazy story. Made a movie about it recently, said Brian. I think that was the same, must be the same guy that Kev was telling me about a few minutes ago. Do you think there should be a limit on foreign players at each club, whatever happens with Brexit? There was, if I remember, was it Italy or Spain? There used to be a limit on foreign players in some leagues. I'm not sure if it was ever in the English league or not, I can't remember. Should there be a limit? I don't see how it can be enforced. I just don't see how it could be enforced. I think work law wouldn't allow it. I don't understand the ins and outs of it, but I just can't see how it would be allowed from a legal aspect. It would be, what's the phrase I'm looking for? It would be, I don't even know the phrase I'm looking for. I'm struggling to get it out. There was nothing to do with freedom of movement, but it would be restricting people's ability to work or something like that. There's some phrase that I'm trying to think of that would probably restrict them being able to do it. Now what they could do is perhaps go the other way and say that there has to be so many more English people or so many homegrown players. That's something they could get around, and they have been trying to introduce more of. I think each Premier League squad now has to have so many homegrown players or so many players under the age of 23. I think players under the age of 18 or something, or under 23 can be included in a match day squad, and you could have as many of them as you want. I must read up on that actually. Just got home from the pub. What's up, fuckers? Said Cask. Not much, mate. We're just enjoying the fact that it is now Sir King Kenny Dalglish, and we're just celebrating the man that has deserved that honour more than anybody else I can think of in recent years from a sporting sense. I'm having a mojo weird feeling about Fekir. What a player, but if things don't happen, it's for a reason. I hope he comes. I hope he comes in January. I still think if it was going to happen, it would have happened in the summer, and I don't understand why they wouldn't have gone for it. There's no reason for them to have not signed him in the summer and then gone back in for him now. Well, there is that reason. It's his knee and it's a negotiating tactic, but I still think they would have tried to have pushed it through. But we'll wait and see. Stranger things have happened. We were all shocked before with Liverpool transfers. Nobody seeing the Fabinho transfer coming. Nobody that I'm aware of anyway. Salah tweets an apology to little girl. I really tried to let you go home early and sorry to have kept you here until the last minute. I hope your teacher tomorrow understands the situation. What a man. What a man. Why would a king have to have a need to be called sir? True. He's always going to be a king to us, but it's still well deserved in every sense of the word. Top man Salah regarding the kid, absolutely, it's beautiful, and nothing less than you would expect from Mo Salah, who is an amazing human being and always has time for his fans as well, and he just seems to be a very humble, down to earth, lovely fella who's an absolute superstar as well. Right guys, have you anything else on tonight? Anything you want to chat about before we head off? Seems like we're heading into the weekend now, so we'll be talking over the weekend, and then of course it'll be the countdown to the Reds being back in action next Saturday against Watford. But if there's anything else you want to chat about before we finish up tonight, please just let me know. It's really tough to keep the subjects going and the conversation flowing when there's no Liverpool game coming up the weekend, nothing to review, nothing to preview. Today, of course, we can talk about Kenny Dalglish for hours. Happy to. What else we got? A kid run on the pitch against West Ham and Salah cuddled him, crowd applauded him. That's the man you're talking about. That's why when that whole thing about him being on his phone in the car and not putting the window down, that really pissed me off. I mean, trying to belittle a man who was nothing but humble, goodwill, loving, caring and available to fans. It was just wrong in every sense. Kenny is the man. Damn right he is, Claire. Damn right. But his family, they're just such a lovely family. Now obviously we only see them from the outside because none of us know them personally, but Kelly Kate seems like an absolute wonderful lady. Paul Dalglish is going and doing his thing as well over in America with football. And his wife, of course, Marina, with her charity work. They just seem like a lovely family. They're the first family of Liverpool. I think that's a fair way of putting it. I don't think Fekir's knee injury is the main reason why we didn't sign him. Personally, I think that we tried to lower down the fee, but Leon got pissed off and stopped the negotiation. There's a chance. There is a chance. I mean, Johnny Cuntilocks is known for being a tough negotiator, so there absolutely is a chance that could have been the case for Erno, without a doubt. And breathes Liverpool, said Claire, which he absolutely does. Hey Craig, just got in mate, missed the show, hope all is well. Hail the King, said Tarish. Sir King Kenny now, Tarish mate. Great to have you on, buddy, thank you for jumping on. I'm brilliant, by the way, thank you for asking. Kelly Cates is fucking hot stuff, said Mossy Wassy. Look, she is, but that's not what I'm trying to compliment her on. I'm trying to compliment her on just being a good, fun human being. She's always fun on TV. She always has a smile on her face. She's a great host as well. So yeah, so just so happy. And her post about her dad receiving a knighthood as well. No luck knighthood. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. A moment where you must be so proud of your dad. Must be such a humbling feeling. Such an emotional day for her. And then to still have the sense of humour to write no luck knighthood. It was just brilliant. Kev Lass said, take it easy guys and girls. Craig, look up the Kaiser, the greatest player that never played, and get back to me. Will do, Kev mate, good night and stay safe if you're at work, pal. The first family, said Brian. I thought that was a nice way. When it came into my head I thought, shit yeah, that's good actually. The first family of Liverpool. I think that is a nice way, I think, Brian, maybe of describing the Dalglishes. Neil said, we just need that one magic player. A modern day Matt Letizia would be amazing. He would have been amazing at a club like Liverpool. Such a wasted talent. Was he wasted though? That's the thing. He was at his club. That's, of all the things I don't respect Letizia for, that's one that I actually do. He lived his dream at the club that he supported, and that's a beautiful thing. Whatever it's like Steven Gerrard saying winning one Champions League at Liverpool would have been worth 5 anywhere else. So look, Matt Letizia was never going to be winning any Champions Leagues, and there's no doubt that he was an absolute fucking wizard on a football field. But I get why he stayed at the club, and I actually respect him more for that. Don't you think we would banter back by letting the world know about the knee injury if the bargain was that tough? Or was that though? Don't you think we would banter back by letting the world know? No, absolutely not, mate. Liverpool couldn't do that as a football club. If Johnny Cuntylocks or Owlas was saying that we were trying to lowball or whatever, that's him dropping down a level, but Liverpool can't degrade the player, and that's information that will be illegal for them to give out. The details of that medical are confidential. That's his private health records. Liverpool absolutely could not leak those or let it be known what the results of that medical was. Absolutely not. They wouldn't do that. It's completely unprofessional and probably illegal. I'm not sure, but probably I'm sure it would be against what sort of data protection. Neil is spot on. Bit of magic in midfield. Shaqiri is doing his best, no doubt. Shaqiri's doing a great job. Absolutely great job. But I agree, we do need that somebody extra. I'm fully on board with that way of thinking. We have the team, train, adjust and click the thing. We have the players. We have a great squad, Claire, without a doubt. An absolutely brilliant squad. Probably the strongest squad since I was a child. It's really good. There's no excuse as to why we can't be challenging. Excuse me. We should be there or thereabouts, but adding in that little bit of magic in the 10 or another wide forward wouldn't do any harm. We know we wanted it in the summer and it didn't happen for whatever reason. Why didn't Liverpool release a statement on the Fekir situation? Why would they? That's the thing, Ferno. They've no need to release a statement. Who are they releasing it to? They went in for a player, it didn't happen. They don't have to explain it to anybody. They've no need to. The world doesn't need to know why that didn't happen. That's between Liverpool Football Club, Leon and the player and his agent. We all want to know. We all want to know like crazy. But there's no reason for the club to release a statement. Tony said, I think Liverpool had it spot on pulling out of the deal with Fekir. I think we have our eyes on another player like him. A few of them are out but will come back. The thing about the Fekir situation is there are other options available, like Tony said. The club clearly wanted Fekir, and I have to say, whatever reason it was that deal didn't go ahead or Liverpool pulled out, I agree. Whatever the reason was, I've no doubt that the reason was to protect Liverpool Football Club, or it was in the best interests of Liverpool Football Club. So that's all for me. We can hope that the people running the club are doing is trying to do the right thing for the club. How worse would it have been if they had have gone in and bought Fekir and his knee crumbled in 3 months' time? We would all be slating them. We'd all be saying they should have known. We'd all be saying the medical should have showed it up. We'd all be saying it was a gamble that shouldn't have been taken. They're trying to do the right thing. 50 or 60 million pound isn't really something we can just roll the dice on. We have to be as sure as we can be that the money the club are spending is as close to being guaranteed to being successful as possible. And we're guessing here as to why it didn't go through. Some of us think it's the knee, some of us think it was just a renegotiation because of the knee. There's been a few other reasons as well, but the truth is we may never know. We may see him in January. We'll have to just wait and see. We miss Oxlade-Chamberlain, said Cameron. Every time anybody writes that phrase, I'm just going to keep saying Oxlade-Chamberlain. I'm just not reading out that phrase. But we do miss him, 100%, Cameron. And as somebody said earlier on, there was a lovely social media video of him training with Brewster and saying that the leg is getting stronger, which is great to see. Brian said, I used to love Letizia. He's been a total prick about LFC a lot recently though. Do you blame him? To be fair, we have gone to his club and taken their best players time and time again. It must be killing him looking at it happening. Only if we would have slapped up Lucas Moura. I still don't rate him that much, Mossy Wossy. We had the chance to get him. He went for ridiculous money to Paris Saint-Germain. We had a couple of opportunities to get him out of there. And do you not think there's a reason why none of the very, very top clubs went for him? He's just too inconsistent. I think he's another one of those players that can do a lot, but I would almost compare him to a Mane signing at the time. And Klopp looked at Mane and knew that there was more to come. And he knew that he was a little bit raw, and he knew that a little bit of a tactical nous he could get more out of Mane. I think he probably looked at Moura but didn't feel the same. That's just my guess at it anyway. I think it was a fair comparison between the two players, and I think Mane is a much better player. Not that you're trying to compare them, I'm just trying to shape my argument, I suppose. My first Liverpool love was Stan the Man, said Cask Strength. Steve Staunton, Jesus Christ. Haven't heard his name mentioned in a while. Very underrated player though. Absolute quality player. Great at taking corners as well, to be fair, have to say that. You're right, can't release medical info into the public domain. I don't think the knee was the only reason for Fekir. Bayern and Chelsea are after him. They wouldn't if his knee was that bad. See, they could take a chance though, that's the thing. Chelsea with their owner, Manchester United perhaps with the finances they have, certainly Manchester City, possibly Bayern Munich. Those are the types of clubs that can perhaps roll the dice on a 50 or 60 million pound player and say, well look, if we get 18 months out of him and maybe 2 years and his knee falls apart, well look, we'll have got value and we can take the loss. I don't think Liverpool can do that. The fact is that there is a reason. I totally trust in that reason, said Claire. Last 15, who's your favourite non-Liverpool player of all time? God, that's a good question. Well look, Messi I suppose is the easy answer. But I've said before, there's been so many for me. Jean-Pierre Papin, Hristo Stoichkov. God, so many players over the years. Xavi. Zidane. Go on for hours. Literally pick 50 players who have been amazing. Ronaldinho we spoke about earlier on. Maradona. Ronald Koeman I really liked as well. Marco van Basten. God, I'm just going to keep naming off players now, so I better stop. Do you think the day Fekir interview will get leaked? Do you think the day the Fekir interview will get leaked? Also, I can't see a better Coutinho replacement than Fekir. He's levelled above anybody else who will target. No, the interview will never get leaked. Absolutely not. The fact the picture got leaked is amazing. I can't believe that even got that far. But just imagine how that must have felt for him, lads. He was there in that shirt. Images taken, interview recorded. More images I'm sure were taken as well. Expecting to be a Liverpool player. He'd worn the shirt. And then it didn't happen. You do not get closer than that to a deal happening. AC Milan are interested in Fabinho, Craig. Well, they're not getting them, so they may stay interested. And there's no way with their financial fair play situation that they can afford to bring in Fabinho. Not a hope. Not with the wages as well. I know that they haven't signed him permanently, at least that I'm aware of. But with the wages that they must be paying Higuain, I can't see how they could afford Fabinho. Albeit an all win for everybody. There was something, I don't know what that means. Neil said, I think will be pulled. 60 million was too much of a risk, but how in this last year a fee of 30 may be worth the risk? Is he in the last year of his contract now actually? I forgot about that side of it. Did you see Oxlade-Chamberlain shoot with his left foot today / yesterday? He looks like he'll come back much earlier than 6 months time in my opinion. Just looks great. I hope he does. Fair enough. I hope he does. I did see the video as we were speaking about a few minutes ago. He looked good. As he said, the left peg is much stronger clearly than the right, but hopefully. It's tough. It's really tough to come back from that injury and trust your body and have the same type of power and well, I suppose trust in your body, like I said a minute ago. Some players just have a mental block, so we'll have to wait and see. Stan the Man, Collymore, for fuck's sake. Sorry, Stan the Man to me as an Irishman was always not Collymore, it was always Staunton, so sorry. I actually don't know, Stan the Man Collymore didn't even register in my head for a second. Salah looks very close to his best now, just seen his goal today for Egypt. The gesture and the close control looks more the Salah from last season, said Mike. It was a great goal. I watched it back there during the stream. Yeah, it really was a good goal. Hadn't seen it before we started. Actually, somebody asked me at the very start if I'd seen the goal. I'd seen it out of the corner of my eye but didn't get to watch it, but I clicked through it here on the stream as we were going along. It was a great goal. Well done to Mo Salah. Goal tonight for Gini Wijnaldum. Goal last night as well for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Some good saves today and a clean sheet for Alisson Becker, so lots of positives. Christopher said, on late nights tonight, how are we all doing? I'm excellent, mate. I hope you're well. Great to have you on. Geez, Ox, what a man. Love it. He can't come back too soon. I cannot wait for him to come back. I keep saying, like, he was so important to us last year. When Klopp is out, who's next in, Craig? I don't even want to think about that, Tony. That's a scary thought. I don't know. I honestly don't know. If Klopp was to suddenly retire tomorrow, I haven't got a clue who'd be the next Liverpool manager. Definitely wouldn't be Steven Gerrard at this point. I mean, hopefully it will be down the line, but not yet. He's nowhere near ready to manage Liverpool. I don't know who the next Liverpool manager. I don't know. I don't even want to think about it either. My favourite player of all time is Zidane. In his prime, he majestically moved the ball through the pitch. The ball glued to his feet. Power and authority. Full vision. It was beautiful. And the fucking headbutt to Materazzi. That was beautiful to me. Talking shit about his family. Take it. Just bang. Done. Loved it. Couldn't have. He had more respect for me after that. And people can say it was the wrong thing to do. But I don't know. Fuck him. Somebody talking about his family and he headbutted him in the chest because he knew it was the last of his career. Fucking brilliant as far as I'm concerned. What else we got? Catch me if you can. My name is Stan and I'm your man. I'm the gaffer. I keep forgetting as well that Bobby Robson was a manager of Ireland at one point. I keep forgetting that fact. Bobby Robson and Stan Staunton, the dream team. Last question about Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain for me today, but do you think he'll play for us this season? Yes. If I was to guess, Ferno, I'd say yes. I think he will probably play well, obviously in the latter part of the season, but yes, I think we'll see him on the field for Liverpool this season. Maybe I'm being optimistic, but I want to be optimistic about this one. Guys, I am going to call it a night if that's okay. My voice is starting to go a little bit. I will chat to you all tomorrow, same time, same place. By tomorrow we will have the GoFundMe or Kickstarter or Ko-fi page set up. So we'll put it out there. Hope you guys have a look at it at least, and if everybody wants to contribute or anybody wants to contribute to it, that'll be great. It's all going to be explained in the details of it. Again, thank you for coming on tonight. Love each and every one of you. Be safe. Love your families. Be happy. Enjoy the day that Kenny Dalglish received his knighthood. I certainly have. I'm sure most of you have as well. Pleasure talking to you all as always, and I will catch up with you all soon. Up the motherfucking